More and more of you are reaching out in response to two recent videos that we released on both the Be Something Wonderful channel and the Tom Kearin channel about the story of one of you powerful creators who always wanted to be famous, who always wanted to be a celebrity, and then made that your reality. And we did two powerful videos, one on Be Something Wonderful, entitled, I Decided I Was Famous, and the World Agreed. That's the first video. Then we did a second one to unpack the concepts in the powerful masterclass that this subscriber and creator gave us with this identity shift to this famous celebrity that she is now. The other one's at Tom Kearin, Your I Am Story Creates Your Entire World. And she tells the story of now being in a movie, going from an extra to making a red carpet appearance, rubbing elbows with a famous director and the stars. And she even released the name of the movie and all of that in her comments on the video on the channel. So check those out. Well, this particular subscriber and creator that reached out said, it really finally clicked for me. I always felt this idea that I've got to find my limiting beliefs first. I've got to see what's limiting me. Then get rid of those beliefs, destroy those beliefs, and then I can finally be that person I want to be. I always felt that I had to believe it. Hear this. Before I could just be it. Before I could just know that I am it. Just as this creator demonstrated. Remember, it's law. What we talked about is that the idea of a self-concept, or assuming that you're a certain identity, that's a law. That's the law of identity shift. It's an absolute law, and it's a law whether you believe it or not. Just like the law of gravity. You can go up to a rooftop and say, well, I don't believe it, and jump off a roof. But whether you believe it or not, it's a true physical law in the sense of a physical law. But laws are laws. Whether you believe it or not, this law of identity shift. When you assume it, when you decide it, when you know this is who you are now, reality must form around that. It's identity that drives reality. It's that conviction and that certainty of identity that creates your entire world. I am, that's the word of God. Your word becomes law. All beliefs, hear this, and we're going to talk about this today. All beliefs are limiting by definition. All of them limit you. That limitless you, a belief, they're all limited by definition. And you're not underneath your beliefs. Your beliefs are underneath you. This idea that I got to find and destroy my limiting beliefs, and that becoming who you already are underneath those limiting beliefs, that's what it's about. It's not about that. You're not underneath those. There's no identity underneath those beliefs. The beliefs are underneath you as the one and only identity and source of reality. Do you hear that? We get told this, and I know there's truth to that, because you can create that idea. You got to find and destroy those limiting beliefs. And to shift reality, what self-concept work and the idea of shifting realities is really about becoming who you already are underneath your limiting beliefs. That sounds good. We might have even used language like that and made concessions like that in our early videos on Be Something Wonderful. But that's not really what it's about. You're not underneath anything. Those beliefs are underneath you. You decide. In other words, you choose. All beliefs are limiting by definition. We're going to talk about this idea, the difference between a limiting belief, simply a belief that you no longer resonate with, and no longer resonates with who you choose to be now. That's all a limiting belief is. It's not about right or wrong or negative or positive. It's simply not who you choose to be now. And so you don't resonate with that. Maybe you never did. And you just accepted that belief as who you are. But either way, you get to choose. It's about choosing who you are and what you believe and assume and define yourself to be here and now. You're not underneath anything. Everything's underneath you as I am. You're the one power and source. Everything, everyone is subject and subordinate and below you as I am awareness. This is really where I wanted to start today. We're going to talk about this idea of limiting beliefs. Tom, what's the difference between a limiting belief and a true belief? And I've talked about that idea before. A limiting belief requires you to believe it. Where a true belief, I am, is true whether you believe it or not. It's law, whether you believe it or not. I am unlimited. That's true whether you believe it or not. You've got to believe you're little. You've got to believe you're limited. There's no truth to it. Wow. So, the law of identity shift, this is what we talked about in this particular conversation with this creator. We have it backwards, right? You're focusing on your reality, changing your reality so you can be the person that you desire to be. But that's backwards. It's identity that creates. You change your identity, you change your reality. Not the other way around. Do you see that? And when we say change, we mean choose. You choose your identity, and that chooses your reality. You're already all lives, all identities, all versions of you in potential. You're already all experiences or realities exist in potential. When you choose and identify who you are, what you believe and assume about yourself, that reality or experience forms around it. It's not how, it's who. Every identity has its unique reality. Stop manifesting backwards. Do you see? It's the identity that has a unique reality. The reality doesn't exist without that identity, without I am. It's I am that's the one source and first cause of all of it. Every single this is what she did. This is why it's so powerful. This one who shared her story about becoming a star, a celebrity. She's in a Hollywood blockbuster film coming out in February. She mentioned the name of the film. She mentioned the director, the actor. She released all that. After not releasing it, she released it all. It's great. She made one single choice, one single decision, and it changed her entire life. One shift, new life. That's the law of identity shift. It's not about believing it, it's law. She stopped asking the questions, how do I shift? What do I do? Staying focused on the changing manifested reality, trying to shift to the reality that has a desired identity and version of her. Instead, she decided who she was, and reality moves. It shifts around her. She focused on being the identity that lives in the reality of I am famous, I am a celebrity, I am a star. The only question is, who am I? That's the only question that ever matters. That's the law of identity shift. This is what we're talking about today. How do I change my beliefs that are limiting me? That's not the question. The question is, how does this new desired version, or what does this new desired version of me believe and assume about herself and reality? That's what she was asking. No longer, how do I change my beliefs? How do I change my reality? What do I do about it? But what do I believe? I am famous. I am a star. What do I assume? I am famous. I am a star. All beliefs, assumptions, and definitions of yourself and your reality are limiting by definition. It's not about getting rid of limiting beliefs. It's about deciding or choosing what to believe, what to assume about yourself and your reality now. Hear this, a limiting belief is simply a belief or assumption or definition of yourself that no longer resonates, maybe never resonated, with whom you believe, assume, and define yourself to be here and now. Wow. They're not fixed. They may seem familiar, but they're not fixed in any way. They seem familiar for sure because they seem to be true, or the truth of who you are in your reality. So much so that you don't even question them, or you stopped even questioning them, saying, this is who I am, this is my reality. In the moment you question them, everything changes. In the moment she decided, I am famous, I am a star, no matter what these circumstances and conditions of the changing appearances are showing, this is who I am now. That's the idea of persistence. It's not persisting in an assumption or an imaginal scene or an affirmation, tolerating reality until something changes out there. It's saying, I am this no matter what reality is appearing like. This is who I am now. This is my decision. I stand in this. You use those words. I'm standing in that identity. That's persistence. And this particular creator asked, well, if all beliefs are limiting, I've been asked this before, what's a true belief or a real or unlimited belief? What's the difference? Well, all limiting beliefs require you to believe it to be true for you. They require your belief. But a true belief, a real belief, reality, is true or reality whether you believe it or not. I am unlimited. True whether you believe it or not. You are who you already are. You don't become it. Not this idea, it's about becoming who you already are underneath the limiting beliefs. We create that. So, oh no, I'm underneath limiting beliefs. I've got to find out what these beliefs that I'm underneath. And I've got to remove them and destroy them and kill them and fight them and hunt them down. A search and destroy mission until I can be who I want. But here's the thing, you're a creator. And every moment you're creating a reality. So of course you're going to find beliefs that are limiting because all beliefs are limiting. And you're going to destroy them because you're going to put them there. Then you're going to destroy them. You're going to dig them up and then you're going to destroy them. You're going to dig them up and put them there and then destroy them and keep creating. More and more, it's endless, it's bottomless. You're going to keep finding bones, digging up bones. You are who you already are, you don't become it. Let the dead bury the dead, as Scripture says. Stop digging up those bones. The limiting beliefs are underneath you. This is the bigger understanding. As I am awareness, they're subject to, subordinate to, and below you. You choose from what vantage point, what perspective, what viewpoint do you want to see and experience yourself as all that is and all pure potential. That's what we're talking about today. Wow. There it is. You know I love this picture. I show it in many different ways, but I know it seems like, again, we're just going to cast our net again, guys, because this is what we're talking about. This is what we did with that particular creator who's now famous. I've been talking to her since 2023. We were casting our net again and again. Not repetition, not in vain, in every moment deciding this is who she is now. Powerful. Source, I am, first cause. All identities, all versions of you exist here and now. Not one of them is limited. It's a limiting experience. But all of these identities are I am. Remember, it's a hologram. Any part of God is all of God. Any part of you is all of you. And so you're all of God's all of you, you are all of God. None of these, they're just a perspective or a viewpoint or a vantage point of all that you are in any one moment, that frame. It's not that it's limited or little or weak. It's just a perspective. It's just a viewpoint. It's one version of you superimposed over another, having a certain perspective or viewpoint. Looking out through the source that you are on a certain perspective of your experience. You're all of it, always. It's about who, not how. How makes you little. How we feel little, we feel like we got to make something happen. What do I do? All realities and frames of experiences exist here and now. But we're here in this illuminated, this manifested frame that seems solid. The illusion of continuity and solidity. Feeling frozen or stuck here. Saying, how do I change this? But it's not about changing that. That's the illusion. It's never what it seems. You're always this, changing in every moment, taking on a new perspective or viewpoint or vantage point. This is the illusion that manifests frame. This is what's true. That's the truth. Here you're asking how, what do I do, when and why? Who is the question? And look, there are infinite, linear, physical experience in time, space, and change that you can create. You create an idea of who you were. You create an idea of who you will be. You create an idea of who you are. But hear this, no matter what idea, comes that Boston accent's coming out. Whatever idea you select, it never changes. You're always in the vertical. You're always that superimposed infinite version, limitless version of you. Do you see? The vertical never changes. You're always there. No matter what it is. It may seem like you're not, but you're always in the vertical. Remembering who you were. Imagining who you will be. But that's all right now. Absolutely limitless. Wow. Remember, all of these infinite potential linear physical experiences in time, space, and change exist. Each of these, in potential, have their own unique destiny or fate. But you don't change any one potential. There are infinite fates, infinite destinies. That's the idea of what fate and destiny came from, right? That idea that, oh, because when we think this is fixed and solid and we try to change it, well, now you're tempting fate, because that particular potential has a certain fate and destiny. You don't change that. You choose another fate, another destiny, because it's infinite. Wow. The script is written, but there are infinite scripts that are all written in potential, and you get to decide. You're the director, the producer, the star, the editor. You're all of it. You get to choose the film role that has the script of the story of your life, just like this particular creator did. So that story that we presented now in 2 videos with different ideas, she simply decided to stop asking reality for permission and proof to be famous and to be a star. Wow. Decided, I'm the proof. A lot of evidence out there of all sorts of conditions and circumstances. The debt was piling up. The marriage was strained. Her husband a whistleblower. Her out of work. She's a nurse practitioner, a PhD, but yet out of work and struggling. Why? Because what she really wanted is to be a star, and that's who she is now. That's who she's always been. She became the proof. The evidence is not necessarily the proof. Only you are. Evidence is circumstantial. They're just circumstances. You're the proof. You decide who you are. You choose, and reality agrees with you. How do I shift? What do I do? Now you're looking at reality, trying to change that. It's identity that's cause. It's identity that's source. It's who. The how and what do I do just keeps you trying to change reality first. Trying to manifest backwards. Reality only exists as a reflection of your identity. That's law. That's the law of identity shift. Whether you believe it or not, it's law. Stop trying to find and change unconscious limiting beliefs and choose and decide what you believe, assume, and define yourself to be right now. That makes everything conscious because there's only you. It changes everything. The so-called old limiting beliefs are not fixed. They're just familiar. But they're not natural. They're not your nature. There's only one belief that's natural in your nature, and it's I am. I am unlimited. I am everything that I ever wanted and desired to be here and now. The law of identity shift changed her life. One shift, new life. I am your host, Tom Kearin. And these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, check out those other 2 videos. Go to the Tom Kearin channel as well. Check out the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. We just released a big manifesting a specific person video on that channel, as well as a live event that we're going to have This Sunday, we're going to have on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. We're going to have our 43rd live event. There's 42 other events already existing on the membership channel. Check it out. With great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.